Why am I here? Do you ever ask yourself this question? Why am I on this earth? Why am I alive? Why do I exist? And especially if you ask yourself this question in the midst of hard times, of which we all reach and of which we do all ask that question. Sometimes it can seem like this world is meaningless, we are here for no reason, and we're just suffering superfluously. But I'm here to tell you, you are truly a song of God. And if you understand what that means, if only for a moment, it'll make it all make sense. In this question of why I'm here, the answer becomes self-evident to the point you wouldn't even ask the question because the question becomes redundant. And so what does it mean to be a song of God? Why are we a song of God? Well, to understand the destination, that is the purpose of our life, the reason why we're here, the direction that we're going, to understand the destination, we've got to go back to the origins. That is, in the Gospel of John, John starts off by saying, "In the beginning was the Word. The Word was with God, and the Word was God." What did he mean by that? Because that is an extraordinary claim. It goes against everything that we are taught within this world. As in, I'm a human being. Jesus Christ became man. Jesus Christ was a human being. But the Gospel of John is claiming that Jesus Christ exists outside of space and time. He was never created. He's always existed eternally. So how is that possible? What does that mean? Well, Thomas Aquinas was a theologian, and he said something about it that is completely on point. It makes so much sense. He said, in describing how Jesus Christ was eternal, Jesus Christ is obviously the Word. Thomas Aquinas said that before the universe began, in eternity, never born, never dead, just eternally existing, was Jesus Christ, and he existed in the Father, in the heart of the Father, as an utterance. And it's mainly that word, an utterance, that makes it make so much sense, because if you introspect yourself and you watch yourself, certainly none of us do it all of the time. Most of us do it almost none of the time. But when we speak pure truth, it's as though the things that we speak are flowing from our heart. And that's different from the way that most of us typically speak, because you can feel it when it's happening. Most of the time we speak from our mind. That is, we have a filter, and we're using our words in a way that we're trying to get what we want. We've got an agenda, we've got aspirations, we've got goals, we've got things we want, and we use our voice as a way to bend the world to our desires, or at least try to do it. But when you do that, when you have an agenda, there's no pathway to be speaking pure truth, because you're not aligned with pure truth. You're aligned with that which you desire. You're not aligned with God's will. You're aligned with your own will. And so Jesus Christ is the truth. Jesus Christ is the perfect word. And so in the same way that when we speak truth, it starts as an utterance in the heart and it just flows out. And I'll also say that sometimes our heart literally hurts, and it's like there's something bubbling within our heart, and I believe that is a truth that hasn't left us. It's something that we need to say to someone, but we haven't said it. We've left it unsaid, and it pains us because it's a truth that wants to be free. Right? And so Jesus Christ is the perfect eternal word. And in eternity, Jesus Christ exists as an utterance in the heart of God, in the heart of the Father. Now, in regards to, I am a song of God, you are a song of God, what does that mean? Jesus Christ is the Logos with a capital L. So a logos, we all have a logos as well. Jesus Christ is the logos. We all have a logos. Ours is not the logos, it's a logos with a lowercase l. And you can think of logos, we refer to it as logic, and that's kind of true, but it has nothing to do with the intellect. What logos originally meant is you can think of it as me as a man, human beings, all of us. Fundamentally what we are is we are like an instrument. We are like a musical instrument. And the logos is the gift given to all of us. It is the song that our life is meant to sound like. With the life that we've been given, i.e. we are an instrument, our life is the instrument, and the logos is the song that we are meant to play. It is the song that is given to us by God. And then you can think of sin. When we sin, what's happening is we are misaligned with God, and we are misaligned with that song. That song that is our logos that we were meant to play. And it's like if you ever played Guitar Hero, the dots are coming down the screen, and then you miss one of the dots, and it makes a horrid sound. And especially if you hear an instrument do that in real life, be misaligned with the song that it's meant to play, it makes you cringe. It maybe even makes you feel a little bit uncomfortable for a moment. And that is sin. We sinned one time, and it's just a brief straying away from the song that we were meant to play, the will that God has laid out for us, the way that our life is supposed to be. And sometimes we become saturated in sin, and because our life at that point becomes mainly sin, and we're so far away from the logos, so far away from the song that God meant for us to play, then our whole life becomes uncomfortable. Our whole life becomes cringe. Our whole life becomes painful. And so this question of why am I alive, we have to deny ourselves every day. We have to let go of our life. That way we can gain it. But when we detach from our own will and choose to play the song that God has given us to play, the answer to this question of why am I alive becomes self-evident. And you could even look at yourself. We are all in a divine symphony. We are in a divine orchestra, of which Jesus is the maestro whom we follow. And you could imagine if you were a part of a orchestra and we were playing a symphony, and somebody piped up and they asked randomly during the song, they were like, why a song? Why are we playing a song? Or why this song? The question actually wouldn't make sense, especially if it's beautiful music. When you listen to a song that you enjoy, you can't necessarily explain it logically, and you don't want it to be finished, and you don't necessarily care when it began, but rather it is just beautiful. And when beauty goes deep enough, beauty is enough for its own sake. And so asking this question of why are we playing a song, why are we alive, why this song, you can see it as as ridiculous. And it's like, trust the maestro. Just trust the maestro. Just play the song. Let go of your attachments to this world. God has made you an instrument. God has given you a song. Just play the song that God has given you. See the beauty. That isn't prosperity gospel. I'm not saying the things that will be given to you, but just see that life will be enough as is by participating in God's will. Play the song God has given you. Trust the maestro and see what happens. See what happens. And for now, that's all that I have. Goodbye.